Maybe I'll put laying in the hospital as my virtual background. Hey, Betty Joe. You're muted. You are muted.
Okay. Hi, Jim.
Hey, kid. How are you?
Good.
Good. I'll be right back.
Should I keep myself muted? Probably. I'll just keep myself.
What's that?
I should probably keep myself muted, right? Oh.
Yeah, until you have to talk. Yeah, that's fine. Hey, Keith.
How are you?
Hanging in, man. How are you?
All's good. You look good.
Thank you. Thanks. Not quite there. So this time of night, 7 o'clock. I'm more than done.
Ready for bed? Well, knowing you're not slowing down.
Just to chill. Yeah. Well, we're trying. Betty Joe, I went back digging out all your worksheets. So I have something to go look at. Okay. Betty Joe, a bunch of the time tonight might be tied up with this. And we're going to, it shouldn't take long, but with this energy aggregation petition. So I don't know who's going to have what focus tonight.
Okay. Do you want me to resend you anything? I mean, I'm in the office, so if you.
Nope. No, I'm good. How was your vacation?
Oh, it was lovely. Thank you. It's just for the kids, you know. It's all for the children.
Yeah, I got you. Hey, Robbo.
Hey.
Hey, man, how are you?
Hey, Rob.
Every day's Christmas. Did you get moved?
It has been so effing hard. So this has been, right? So it's, working with a contractor and all the punch lists to we're moving to exit 9. You know where the Hilton is? Probably been there. So we're top floor of one of those buildings. And nobody is sort of in control. So I've sort of taken over. So it's everything from movers to furniture people to contractors to the building people to our own. It has not been a fun 2 weeks.
Gotcha.
Hi, I'm glad that I'm seeing you all.
Yes, that's pretty amazing.
I have trouble sometimes, but I got it.
First shot. Yeah. Hey, Kevin.
The verdict is to move forward, right?
Yes. Yeah, I talked to Nick late, and he kind of went through it with me. Yeah. Betty Joe getting good Wi-Fi in the Borough Hall. That's amazing.
So 1687 is off the agenda. Oh, no, it's on. No, it's off the agenda, right? We're just not doing the cap bank.
That's the cap
Right.
bank. We're not doing the
Okay,
cap
so it's
bank.
just totally off. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's just off. And I'll say a little something about it.
In the end, the stuff we've banked, knock wood, we haven't had to go over in future years anyway,
Right.
right?
And it's a rolling 2 years.
Right. Yeah. Same as school district.
So it has an impact for 2 years and then it goes away.
Right.
Look at Duffy, man. Get that acting position. Now she's got a curtain behind her. Bedboard's gone. You're muted. You are muted.
I got the curtain, but I can't figure out mute. So, you know.
Yeah, it's a shame you couldn't figure out mute on Monday night. Hey, planning board meeting Monday night. I told you guys already, right? Yeah, I did tell you all. Yeah.
I told Melissa, I was like, it was my favorite meeting ever because I just got to observe. And then I said, and I'm really glad I added to the chaos of it all. Like that was.
Betty Jo, Monday night in the middle of the planning board meeting, Cassandra, I know, is watching, but she's not participating and she's not visible. But she's giving kids baths and dealing with the kids and putting them to bed and everything. And somebody unmuted her phone. And so we had a couple minutes of the mayhem, kids yelling, everything going on. It's
Duffy
really fun.
household excitement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kept leaning in and saying, Cassandra, your phone, we can hear you. And she heard none of it.
Afterward, Reed did send a link of another Zoom meeting in another town where a woman had decided to multitask and get into the shower. And I was like,
Oh gosh.
showing your face. I was like, I was in the shower too, Reed. Oh, just so you know.
Could have been. Had all those sounds. Hi for everybody that's joining us. We're just waiting for 7 o'clock and then we'll get things rolling. This is for those of you that are joining us as attending the meeting. You'll be able to participate by raising your hand. There should be a control where you can raise your hand when we get to the public portion. Hi, Keith.
Hi, how are you? How you feeling?
All right.
Good, man.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Thanks. I'm getting there. Been a fun week.
I can imagine.
Tons of fun.
Boobily. I'm having my own problems. I missed a step going down the stairs last Friday. I'm in a boot. Like really messed my toe up and twisted the tendons and everything on my ankle. I know, right?
He's going in ways to make it even more horrible than coming in.
I'm laying on the ground thinking, oh, great, I'm going to be wearing a cast first month.
Pandemic, storms, locusts, right? Got a little bit of everything.
I'm all about the locust because that seems to be the last thing before there's no turning back.
I told you when I was up at the docks on Monday, Huntington Valley Way, it was crazy. They were like all over. I mean, it was just walking through a parking lot, like not a forest. Like it was crazy. Hi, Hal. Are you there? You're still working to get on?
We have to have Holly on.
Yeah, she's working. It's coming. She's coming. We almost had her on.
And it said she left, so she has to start over probably.
There she goes. Hey, Hal, can you hear us? Not yet. She's still logging in. She's connected.
There we go.
Okay. Hi, Hal.
Hi. August 26, 2020, 7 p.m. Borough meeting.
Okay, I have 7 o'clock. So I'll call the special meeting of the borough to order. The boroughs comply with the 48-hour notice provisions of the Sunshine Law by giving written advance notice of at least 48 hours to 2 local newspapers stating the time, date, location, and to the extent known the agenda of this meeting. Copy of this notice were posted in the Borough Hall and filed with the Borough Clerk. Hal?
Should we do the flag?
Sure thing. Let me try and find it. Well, I don't know. Well, maybe I can. We'll see. I got to find a way to keep it right by all of this. Yeah, I missed it. Oh, there we go. Okay, if we could do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the flag
of the United States of America and to
and
the
to the
republic for
republic
which
for
it
which it
stands,
stands,
One
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with
with liberty and
liberty
justice for
and
all.
justice for all.
Okay, it's a short agenda. I can tell everybody just right off the bat that the ordinance that was on for second reading and public hearing for adopting what's referred to as a cap bank, to carry forward a cap bank, there was an issue on, it wasn't properly noticed. So we will not be doing the public hearing on that tonight and adoption. It will probably not be moved now because the plan is, this is the public hearing on the budget. and it's expected there'll be a vote on the budget tonight. So that ordinance is not going to happen. So Holly, you want to read us the resolution for the, and let's do the budget first and get that out of the way. And then we can talk about, we have a petition that was submitted and we'll talk about that after we get through the budget.
Okay.
So Hal?
We have the following resolutions authorizing the 2020 municipal budget to be read by title.
Yes.
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 And now we have the public hearing on the 2020 municipal budget.
Okay, so I'm going to open up the floor. The municipal budget, as we've talked about a couple times now, is it's a roughly $54 increase. We're actually very happy with the way it came out, given that we had, with the pandemic, we've had substantial losses of revenue and additional costs. A portion of those costs have been reimbursed by the county, but they do not come close to helping us offset the dramatic losses in revenues that we've had. So if anyone has any questions from the public, Rob, Joan, do you have anything to say before I open it up?
No, I'm with you, Jim.
No, I think we should open up.
Okay, let's open up. Any comment you have, you just need to raise your hand and hopefully that works, that I'll be able to see you on here and recognize you, and you can just ask any questions, make any comments, whatever you'd like. Okay, Deborah, if you could just give your name and address for the record and just make sure you unmute yourself. Actually, I think I did.
Can you hear me?
Yep, there you go.
I got you, Deborah.
My name's Deborah Hayes, and I live at 16 East Madison Avenue in lovely Collingswood. And this is actually my first time attending a meeting, and fortunate or not, it's virtual, so it is what it is.
Welcome.
And I would like to hear a little bit more about what is being discussed at this time with the $54. I don't know anything about it.
Well, it's our municipal budget. It's funding all of our municipal services, keeping them in place. There's no reduction in any municipal services. That's your trash pickup. That's your police station. It's your fire services. It's your zoning, building, construction inspections. It's all the things that the borough does. It funds all of that. And there's a tax increase for this coming year of $54 on the average household. That incorporates all of the contractual increases in salaries for employees, which is roughly 2%, pretty much across the board. And it's reflective of our substantial loss of revenues that we've had over the last year because of the pandemic. Like, we've lost huge parking revenues, construction code revenues. We've been able to reimburse expenses from the Scottish Rite, from activities at the Scottish Rite, weddings and events, and we don't have that this year. Even with, we were finally able to open the pool, but we have not generated the same revenue that we do out of the pool. So that's what the budget is. That's what the municipal budget is. It covers all the municipal services that you get.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes. Thank you.
Sure.
Are you going
Anyone
to,
else? Just, oh, I'm
are
sorry.
you going to unmute me, or do I need to do that?
You can mute yourself.
Okay.
Anyone else? Okay. All right. I don't see anybody else. Okay, Hal, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to do both of the next following resolutions by roll call. Authorizing an amendment to the 2020 municipal budget as introduced. Mayor Maley,
Yes.
Commissioner Leonard,
Yes.
Commissioner Lewandowski,
Yes.
and authorizing the adoption of the 2020 municipal budget. Mayor Maley,
Yes.
Commissioner Leonard,
Yes.
Commissioner Lewandowski.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, and then our last order of business for this special meeting is the borough clerk received a petition to place an ordinance on the ballot. I haven't had a chance to talk to you, Hal. I've been a little preoccupied the last week or so. What have you gotten any follow-up in terms of the well, I guess we can move on it tonight. We can do something tonight pending getting clarification about the, oh no, you know what? It doesn't matter about the petitions. I know there were requests about updating voters, signatures, right?
Correct.
Did you get a response on that?
I did get signatures and I counted them, and they had, with the supplemented signatures, they were at 10.33%. So they needed the
Okay.
10%.
Got it. Okay, so we've chatted informally. Actually, we've been talking about this for almost a year. This program. Rob, Commissioner Lewandowski, you want to start off?
Sure. Yeah. So just for folks that might not fully understand, so it was probably a little over a year ago that some members of our community approached the commissioners about establishing what's called a community energy aggregation program. And what these basically are is, under state law, is a municipality has the right to essentially aggregate, take all the residential accounts for electricity and bring them under one umbrella, and then essentially go out into the open market to shop for rates for an aggregate energy. Now, the other part of that, people can do that regardless, but specifically what community members were asking for was to increase our mix of renewable energy for our electricity, right? Electricity has to come from somewhere. And it could come from coal plants, and it could come from natural gas, it could come from solar, it could come from wind, many different types of things. Presently in New Jersey, I think the required rate of renewable energy in our electrical generation is, I think, somewhere around 24–25%. And so the idea is, and by the way, the state has a stated goal of, by 2030, moving that up to 50%, so that half of the electricity that we would have would come from renewable energy sources. So community, approached us about that idea, and, not knowing anything about it, I had to do some homework, with some meetings and conferences, a lot of reading and stuff. And in February, we passed a resolution, the commissioners did, to do exactly that. So it's a resolution to have a community energy aggregation program. And that is sort of a long process that has community notification and really teaching people about it, the ability to opt out if families don't want to participate in that. It's a whole big step along the way. But that started in February, and a little thing called global pandemic started in March. So, so we didn't get right on it. But at that same time, concurrently, members of the community were doing, as law requires, we're going out and doing a petition drive to essentially pass an ordinance as well. And as our municipal clerk talked about, they submitted that and reached the required amount of signatures, which is 10% of the voting public in the last race that had the assembly on it. So it was, I think, 356 votes needed in Collingswood. So that then brings it to the borough. We think community energy aggregation is a great idea. I mean, I'm just going to speak for me, but I've talked to Joan, I've talked to Jim, and we think it's important that we do this. So there are differences in our ordinances, but ultimately, I think the goal of doing this is important. And if the choice is now whether to put this on a ballot, which is then going to extend this longer, which means we can't start things, or just accept this, personally, I would prefer that we just sort of, accept and replace one ordinance with the other. There's not much difference in each one, and the goal really is to increase our profile of renewable energies in our electricity, and to do it at an affordable price. That's all I have to say.
Okay, so Thanks for going through that. My feeling on this has just been unnecessary. But as Rob said, we adopted an ordinance back at the beginning of the year to do this energy aggregation. This petition drive kept going on. It's a little, it's a petition that's a form that a statewide group is trying to do. In it, it refers to the borough having a council, which it doesn't have. It's just a lot of it's just not done very professionally. In our reading of it, it doesn't do anything different than what we have adopted in the beginning of the year. It sets forth some goals, but the way it's written, it doesn't require those goals to be used. So we don't view that it's making any changes, but we're not going to fight this or disagree with it. We're going to adopt this ordinance. It doesn't, Rob, I don't think legally it replaces the other ordinance. The other ordinance is on the books. There's nothing in here that even acknowledges that we did that ordinance. It acts like that just didn't happen. So I think this is on the books and the old one stays on the books.
Oh, interesting.
And so now we have two ordinances that say somewhat different things. But that's fine. We'll put it on the books. It can't be changed for 3 years. And no, that's fine. Joan, you have anything you want to say on it?
So I understand what you're saying, Jim, and the frustration that must be there. So the feeling of reducing reliance on fossil fuels and moving forward to do the best practice that we can was already our intention, maybe said a little different or whatever with this thing when you kind of iron it all out, but we're moving in that direction and we're already committed to it and we continue to be committed to it. So hopefully everybody who has signed that petition will understand that we are moving in that direction and always were. And if whatever we can do to keep that momentum going, regardless of everything else we're up against with the pandemic, it's very, very important to deal with whatever helps us with climate change. And so we move forward.
Okay, so we're going to introduce the ordinance. Holly, this is so we're going to introduce this ordinance. I guess you'll just give it the next number, right? And
Yes.
it gets adopted, right, Joan Artie? It gets adopted just exactly the way it's written.
Right.
Right? Even it's got stuff that's not factually correct, but we just introduce it just exactly as it is, right?
Well, the statute provides that you adopt it without change. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. So that's fine. So this will be on first reading. We're going to introduce this ordinance. Our introduction of the ordinance and adoption of the ordinance means it will not be on the ballot. It'll just be an ordinance that's adopted. Hal, you want to? I'd make a motion that we introduce this ordinance.
I'll second
that's been
that.
presented by petition. Okay. All right, Hal, you want to take a roll call?
I will. Mayor Malley,
Yes.
Commissioner Leonard,
Yes.
and Commissioner Lewandowski.
Yes, or Councilman Lewandowski.
Yeah. Whatever. Okay. So the public hearing of that, how will it be for the September 7 meeting? So we're a little late in September 7 meeting, or it's going to have to go to October?
It'll have to go to October because the publication
not-
deadline. Right.
Right. There's not enough time to notice and advertise it. So the public hearing on this ordinance will be at the October commission meeting. I don't have the date in front of me, but the first Monday in October. We don't have enough time to notice it properly for the September 7 meeting. That concludes our business. If there's anyone that would like to speak, okay, I have some people that would like to speak, okay. Joyce Kemler, I've just recognized you and you can unmute yourself. There you go, okay.
Okay, thank you very much. I live at 240 East Madison Avenue. And I really am thrilled about Collingswood and how we care about sustainability. And a lot of our neighbors have installed cellular panels and the bike share program and the community gardens are all so encouraging. And when Rob was speaking, that's what I was interested in. I was hoping that we would vote yes 100% on the renewable and eliminate the fossil fuels. So I just wanted to, I didn't realize how much you've already done about that. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. Nobody mentioned when they got these petitions signed that we already had to pass the law, but
Yeah,
okay, thanks. Thank you, Joyce. Deborah is next on my list.
Unless that's from last time.
No, no.
I don't think so. I think she's,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I think she raised her hand again. Yep, go ahead.
So, Mayor, I'm curious, when this goes before, this is the first Monday in October, will that be an opportunity for the community to be able to come out and speak?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Just like all our meetings, people come out and speak.
Right, I get that, but I don't know why we're moving this to October. I'm not understanding. That's all.
Okay, so in order to, what the petition submitted was an ordinance.
Yes.
And under municipal government, an ordinance it adopts a law, okay? And to do that, you have to introduce it and at a first hearing and it gets read to the public, okay?
Gotcha.
And then it gets advertised in the newspapers so that everyone that wants to look at it, so that people have notice and time to think about it, if they like it, if they don't like it. And then there's required a second reading, which would be in October, and which that's where the public hearing is on the ordinance. And then we would vote on the ordinance, and then when it's adopted on the second reading, that's when it becomes law.
Okay.
That's the process. Okay.
That's what I thought. I write regulations for the Department of Children and Families. So I thought it was very similar, except we don't do public meeting. It's a little bit different.
Our process.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Our process is a lot easier than yours.
Yeah, trust me, I can tell. But yeah, we don't have the public meetings, but we do get a lot of public comments, depending on what it is.
Of course.
So that's all it is. So so we're moving on it. We're introducing it. We're adopting it as quickly as we can, and it'll be adopted. And because of that, it won't be on the ballot.
Well, I just kind of wanted to. I did not really hear much of what the previous speaker said because she was kind of trailing off, but I kind of wanted to just, I guess, piggyback off of what she said. You know, just very quickly, I'm a big fan of renewable energy, and I'm hoping that we will be able to do something that will really impact Collingswood. In 2 days, I will be celebrating my 5th year here, and I love this town. And you know, I didn't really buy the house because of the town. I bought the house because of the community. It's a great community. And I really would like to see us continue to go forward under your leadership. Mayor, we've come a long way from what I understand when I hear the history of Collingswood. So I think the renewable energy will allow us to be able to continue to work, as like the previous speaker stated. We're big on helping one another. We've seen that more in most recent 5 months with COVID, whether it's community gardens or a couple of my neighbors have solar panels. I personally can't afford them, but I would like us to be able to look at other options and have that at our disposal. So I'm very happy that this.
Thank you.
Thanks. I'm not sure who this is. If you could give us your name and address for the record.
Hi, this is Brian Dilks-Brotman from 243 Crestmont Terrace. I think I'm signed into the wrong Zoom account.
Yeah, you're signed in as.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
You are the Democratic Committee.
Yeah. And I apologize to my fellow committee members who are on the call with me.
County committee members.
Yeah, right. I didn't realize I was signed into our joint account. But yeah, Brian Dilks-Brotman, 243 Crestmont Terrace. As a community member who worked on this petition, I just want to thank all of you for listening to us and for this vote tonight. It's really great to see. I've been involved with this process from the very beginning, from when it first started as something that we were advocating, all the way up through collecting signatures. As a community member who was deeply involved in it and very, very concerned about climate change, I just want to thank you all for taking this on and for making Collingswood a real leader in the fight for climate justice. This puts us as at the forefront in the state and the country of in the fight for climate justice. So I just want to really, really thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Collins.
This is Wayne. Next up I have is Wayne Rossi.
Hey, yes.
Hey,
Wayne
Wayne.
Rossi, 114 East Palmer Ave.
Thank you.
I want to say thanks for moving ahead with this and agreeing to move on. As some of us had said back in February, I know some of the language might seem technical, but that it was particularly important to us that we put in a strong renewable plan. And the reason we had moved ahead with this process, and I was on the committee of petitioners for this petition, the reason we had moved ahead was we felt it was very important, both practically and symbolically, to put a strong renewable guarantee in law that Collingswood is going to make a real effort by 2030 to move to 100% renewable energy. I think that it's important as a leader, as a town, as we try and draw other municipalities into this, I think to make it clear that we're making a strong renewable push. And I think that even if you think it's more symbolic, I think it's deeply important to this process. And I think it's something we owe future generations. So thank you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no comment. And I'm off.
Thanks.
And I'm on mute.
You got it. Thank you.
The energy thing on the ballot?
Well, now it's not going.
Here, I'm trying to mute some folks off that were still open there. Kate Delaney. Let me try and hit another one, see if I can. You're unmuting yourself. Yep, there you go.
Oh, sorry.
No,
I
you're
just
good.
wanted to chime in and second what Brian said and very much what Wayne said as well. I appreciate you guys passing this first reading of this ordinance and very much think that it's important to have those renewable goals, that those renewable checkpoints are indispensable. And, they're really what is needed here. So thank you, and we appreciate it.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Here you go. I'm just trying to go through folks here. Okay, no. Kate Ingersoll. I have you here, Kate. Think I got to you?
Yes, can you hear me?
You got it. Yep, there you go.
I gotcha.
So I'll be quick because I'm just going to second the folks who have already spoken. But, the reason that we did keep on this and talk to a lot of our neighbors about it is we do think it's important that those renewable goals be baked into this program from the beginning. So we're just really grateful to you guys for being willing to pass this and to get this in motion with those strong renewable goals. So thank you all.
Okay, thank you. And Julie Schneider. Oh, her hand went down. Julie, did I do something wrong? Julie, can we hear you? I don't know, for some reason, I'm having trouble allowing Julie to speak.
Is that Kate still on? Can you have two people at once? Is that right?
No, she's not.
Okay, because it's not showing as muted. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, no, I know. And now,
Can you hear me now? Yes.
Is that Julie?
Oh, yay.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I just want to piggyback on what a lot of people have already said, but I did want to make it clear, my understanding is that the community choice aggregation that was on the books, that was passed, didn't have renewable goals, and this one does, which seems to be a huge deal to most of the people in town. So I just wanted to make sure that that was clear, and I think that's where you're seeing the excitement and gratefulness generated for that part. So making sure that those renewable goals are in there and are taken for what they're meant to be. So that's the part that I think is the difference between maybe what the original one and this one is.
Okay. Thank you. I think that's everybody. There's nobody else. Anybody else want to raise a hand? And I love hearing people say thank you, but you don't have to everybody do that. Okay. All right. Then that's all we have, right? Let me just make sure I got everybody right. Hal, that's it?
Yeah, can I just add that the meeting in September is going to be on Tuesday and not on a Monday? It's Tuesday, September 8th.
Oh, I'm sorry. My
Because
bad.
Monday is Labor Day, Tuesday, September 8th. Okay.
That will still be by Zoom. We won't be getting the gang together in person for that. We'll still be doing it by Zoom. Okay. All right. Thanks all. We are adjourned.
Shop local.
Adios.
Stay
Thank
safe.
you.